Start pulling out pieces. Is that ORP?
Yes.
FTX, field training exercise. So when they get to this phase, the Grizzly phase, this is a progression. The analogy we like to use is crawl, walk, run, right? That Wolverine phase is like an initial introduction where they're kind of crawling through, heavily coached and guided through that phase. Then Panther, the Panther phase is like that intermediate walk stage where we ramp up a bit more the complexity of the missions and things like that, but it's all one encompassing field training exercise for the cadets here at Advanced Camp. By the time they reach us here in Grizzly phase, this is the culminating event. This is the run phase. There's no coaching. Right, cadets are purely evaluated and observed based on their competencies and proficiency by the time they reach this phase of the overall training. Encouragement and my advice to this group is here. Guess what? I get it. I've been in your shoes. This is the first one in Grizzly phase. Mentally and emotionally, you're probably over it. Let's do what we can to reset. Let's dig down deep. Let's find it. Even if we don't know it's there, it's there. Let's find it. Let's give it everything we have for the duration of Grizzly. I've been an ROTC instructor for several years now, 4 years, and been associated with Cadet Command for the better part of now 6 years, right? I also commissioned through ROTC, so I was an ROTC cadet myself. So down at the lowest level where these trainees are right now, I can relate a great deal. I know where they are. Overall, in general, there tends to be a mentality by the time they get to this phase, right, where they're just mentally worn out. For many of them, they have not been through any kind of formal basic training, right? Maybe basic camp for some of them, but if they are a progression cadet, meaning they started from the very first year of ROTC, progressing through the 4th year, right, they were not required to attend a basic camp or basic training of any type. So when I was cadet, though, I had several years of prior service. So we have something called Green to Gold. I was an active duty Green to Gold cadet. So I'd already been in the military for some years and kind of had a bit of an expectation. I had been through basic training, things of that nature. Even still, and having, you know, deployment experience and things like that, the homesickness, anytime you are away from your creature comforts, your standard day-to-day life, getting in your own car and driving, sitting on your own couch, I believe that is probably the biggest takeaway here, right? They probably miss their day-to-day lives, things they're accustomed to, things they know, their loved ones. That's probably the biggest emotional challenge for them. And I would say that was probably the biggest challenge for me when I was going through Advanced Camp myself many, many moons ago. So being out here in the field for the better part of 10 or 12 days without laundry, without showers, right, without hot food, for some of them, we have to keep that in perspective, right? This is their very first time and their introduction to that. We cannot, as leaders, blindly overlook that, right? That cannot be lost on us. Like, okay, yes, we want tough training. We want to, you know, enforce standards. But at the same token, we have to balance some of that empathy. Hardcore training, balance that with the empathy, and let's find that right, you know, right size picture, right balance, and let's go from there.
Let it loose, open up.
A key phrase or a key statement that I share with cadets when they ask me, I say that leadership, at least military leadership, this is not about you as the leader, it is about the people you are leading. And if you understand that and you focus on that and you keep the people that you are leading at the forefront and you let that guide your decisions along with your intellect and your heart, but if you keep people at the forefront of your decision making and understand that it is about them, you can't go wrong. For many of us who have several years of service behind us now and we're preparing to transition out, we understand that this is the next generation and we really just want to know that we can walk away leaving the institution in good hands.